Hi there, my name is Will Carter, owner of Unshakable Entrepreneurs, and I want to give a huge shout out to Justin French and the Revenue Ronin community. So I came into this community 6 months ago, basically brand new to business, and Justin was the one person I kept hearing about in the sales and marketing space. He was running daily spaces on X, so I joined in because I needed some direction, not just more information, how to use it. And I've got to say the shift was more or less immediate. Within a month, I'd increased my revenue. Within 6 months, I've gone from an idea and a coaching practice to a functioning community business serving more than 110 entrepreneurs. And the daily spaces for me are unmissable. They're so good. They are an MBA level mastermind and working group. Most of all, this isn't more information. This is actually practicing in real time and getting real time feedback. And what I really like is Justin is living from the front. He's actually doing this every day, showing us in real time how these practices are useful and getting results in the world. So it's not just more theory. This community is full of high agency, high execution entrepreneurs, and the constant loops of feedback have shortened my learning curve immensely. So if you are a new entrepreneur and you want to shorten that learning curve too, especially around sales, marketing, and positioning, the Revenue Ronins are going to give you the structure and the support to do just that.
All right, guys, welcome to Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. I'm getting into these the Ronin Reports. It's basically a weekly debrief on AI, sales, marketing, mastery, recap on some of the highlights from the week. And yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in. So let me hope you like the new shirt here. I just got some new brand swag. So the new shirt came in. I got a couple new hats. So yeah, it's got to live your brand these days. Got to live your brand. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. So thanks everyone for being here. Please like and repost this live. Would really appreciate it. Just so we can get some more people out here. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this going. So yeah, the big news here is, the Oracle layoff, right? So, Oracle's laid off about, I think, like 30,000 people, sent an email. And, there's been a lot of, job slashes in the last, 3 months, but we've been talking about this if we're on X here and also LinkedIn. We've been talking about forced entrepreneurship for about 2 years now, about 2 years. So whether you're forced to become an entrepreneur or out of necessity, from my experience, I had applied to over 1,800 jobs before I got one. And that's the only reason I got that one is because I knew the CEO. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gotten the job. So the point is, start analyzing your current situation and do whatever needs to be done to bring in revenue, support your family. That's, top priority. So yeah, it's a trend that's going to be continuing. It's not slowing down here. So, but I always tell people and teach my students in the membership community and even companies I consult is, look, no matter what, you got to have your own side business, right? There's no guarantees. You're just a number on a spreadsheet at the end of the day. That's the reality. So, build your thing on the side, really important. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover. The second thing is, let's see. Oh, OpenAI acquired TBPN, or let me see the exact name of this company. Let's see. Let's see. TBPN is what it's called. OpenAI, the acquisition of TBPN, Technology Business Programming Network. So this is big because this is an ongoing trend too. It wasn't the biggest podcast or biggest live show, but it had a trusted audience and all around technology, AI, cutting edge stuff. It had big sponsors as well. So it had trust and distribution. And that's going to be continuing to be a trend moving forward, is who has trust and who has distribution. And HubSpot recently acquired Starter Story, I think last month that was, or maybe January, which is another one. But it's just going to continue to happen, even with what's happening with, Alex Hermosi and acquisition.com. Layla Hermosi stepped down from CEO. They have a new CEO, but they're going to be kind of building, not kind of, they're going to be committed to building the Disney for business, is what they said. So they're going to have a lot of brands partnering with them, personal brands, and they're going to have a large business distribution network of personal brands and, talking business strategy and acquisition.com. And, Alex, he's the GOAT, right? 100 million launch in a weekend, and how his story is incredible. But it's taken him 10 years to get to this point. A lot of people don't realize that, your overnight success really takes 10 years. Sometimes, like other people much longer, right? So it's all a matter of perspective. But I think the key things that are going to stand out and continue to stand out here is personal brand is the ultimate sales funnel, and trust and distribution. Those are going to be critical moving forward, and making sure you have the foundations in place. Building your email list, really important, and these are foundational things that you need to build. So, and then just a couple other highlights here. So I'm actually speaking in San Diego, May 21st at the Entrepreneur Summit by my good buddy, James Hickey. He runs these events. And so I'll be one of the featured speakers, which I'm, very humbled by. So that'll be exciting. So if you're in San Diego, you want to attend, shoot me a message, shoot me a DM. I can send you over the link to register, and maybe doing some bonuses after, but that's going to be it. Let's see, the location is 1100 Market Street in San Diego, so downtown San Diego. So definitely come join us. It's going to be a great, and funny thing is, so James Hickey, he's a fellow fractional CMO I've known for over 15 years. He's pretty much doing events now full time. Bill Walsh, big mentor of mine throughout the years, during my T. Harv Eker days. I met Bill, and then I worked with him. He became a client, and he's been a great mentor for me. So I'll be sharing the stage with him. And then Deborah Sweet. So she actually was the first marketing consultant I hired for my IT business back in 2005, 2006, around that realm. And so, it's come full circle, and I'm happy to be back on the speaking circuit, because I did a lot of speaking in the past. So happy to get back there. And let's see. So another thing too is this. I launched this Revenue Ronin AI. It's basically an on-demand AI fractional CMO. I've literally built this on Lovable and with Claude in about 6 or 7 hours, and it's great. And it's all about starting with the analysis, analyzing where you're currently at. It's all built on my frameworks over the last 15 years, and it's incredibly powerful. I've done about 30 or 40 audits so far, these work really well. So definitely check out revenueronin.ai. And let's go back to some other things that we can highlight here. So a big difference between marketing and branding, right? Big difference. Marketing is what you do, more of the tactics, and branding is how people feel about you, your personal brand, and your company brand. A big distinction there. People get the two confused. And I'm really liking this new this brand look and feel for my personal brand. So I'm really excited about that. It's all about discipline, data, results. That's the Revenue Ronin way. And health is wealth. We get caught up, and shout out to Robert Scoble. He just mentioned a post about one of the executives over at OpenAI, like taking some time off for health. It's really important to do that. Health is number one. And great reminder there from Robert Scoble. And yeah, your only moat now is your personal brand. Literally, your only moat now is your personal brand. And yeah, so again, entrepreneurship, forced entrepreneurship out of necessity or by force, it continues to be a big topic happening now in the AI space. And just I'm looking at like recession proof or AI proof businesses. We talked about it on our sales and marketing mastery mastermind this morning, looking at what companies are AI proof, right? What companies are AI proof, and just keeping an eye on those types of business models. And oh, hey Riley, good to see you, man. Thanks for thanks for popping in. Yeah, good to see you. Riley's an awesome startup advisor. He advises startups and founders as well. So good to see you, Riley. And big fan of the Japanese culture, like myself. So yeah, good to see you, Riley. And yeah, I'm building on Beehive. Beehive released their latest update where you can actually import your podcasts into Beehive. So I went ahead and started that process. Where is that? I did a post on that right here. Yeah, so you can actually import your podcast RSS feed into Beehive now. So those can all be cataloged. So that's happening. That's exciting. Beehive is just, they're crushing it. They're shipping every single week. It seems like something new. So, and then, yeah, just the biggest trend, bigger than AI right now, is forced entrepreneurship. That's the bigger trend that nobody's really talking about. I've been talking about it for like over 2 years, and yeah, where I think people should get started is learning and mastering sales and marketing. Sales and marketing is everything. These are the two biggest business drivers of any company. And so once you master sales, once you master marketing, you will be unstoppable. And the biggest person who's going to be the biggest threat in any room is someone who's technical, who can also communicate well and do marketing and sales. They're unstoppable because you got both sides. It's usually somebody's really technical, but they're not so good at sales, right? Or vice versa. You have somebody who's really good at sales, but when it comes to tech stuff, they're not so good. And what I've prided myself on for the last 25 years, coming from an IT background, that's what I did in IT for the first 10 years of my career. I did IT consulting, made $1 million in 5 years in that business, but I only netted 50 grand. So it taught me a very important lesson called profit. And one of the things is being able to bridge the gap between technical and non-technical people. The same thing is happening right now with AI. The same exact thing, where you need to be a master communicator at being able to bridge the gap between those two disciplines, technical and non-technical people. And if you're on X or LinkedIn, you're far ahead of the curve compared to a lot of people. If you're on Reddit, you're way ahead of the curve. And so, and yeah, it's just going to be a continued trend that we'll continue seeing. And I feel bad for people being laid off, but these companies, they have an obligation to make a profit to shareholders, and the AI agents are going to work around the clock. They're not going to take breaks. They're not going to take lunches. They don't have family emergencies, right? That we humans experience. And so yeah, the writing's on the wall, and we just have to accept reality. We have to accept where we're at now. And so the question I pose for you is, how are you positioning yourself in this new AI economy, right? How are you positioning your personal brand? What is your specialty? What are your high income skills? And how will you be helping businesses and clients and or your employer to navigate this new AI economy? So yeah, with that, guys, that's all I got. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, this is just the weekly. I'm trying to do the Ronin reports every week. Weekly AI sales and marketing mastery recap from the week. Just highlight some important stories that are top of mind. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, everyone else who tuned in. Really appreciate it. I'll be chopping this up into some other content. And again, just remember, your moat isn't your tech. It's trust, brand, and distribution in order. And it's always about people, process, systems, and organization, communication, and delegation. And then also making sure that you're promoting part of the day. Alex Muramosi says you're promoting, you're building, and then you're delivering to the clients. So acquiring customers, retaining customers, that's the name of the game. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. And just remember, at the end of our lives, we'll ask ourselves 4 simple questions. Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? And did I make a difference? Until next time, keep making a difference. Build that mind, build that body, build that business, build that bank account, but most importantly, build that legacy. So stay healthy, stay hungry, and stay humble. We'll see you guys at the top. And if you want to keep growing, check out the Revenue Ronin community. We've had over 46 members sign up. You can be number 47. And yeah, this is Justin Arfriedels French, aka the Revenue Ronin, signing off. All right, much love, guys. Have a great Easter weekend, and we'll see you back next week. Much love.